Master then gave all the food she had with her to the dogs and also provided them with fresh water. Supreme Master Qinghai shares in her book of her first experience with the largest dog, which was later renamed Zolo. Even then, when we first met, he came to kiss me and gave me his paw as a sign of friendship, despite his terrible condition at that time. That was a horrible environment that he was in, dog poop piled up next to him like a small hill. He had a loaf of filthy, hard, half-eaten bread, a concrete yard floor, and no water in sight. He was covered with dirt, thin, falling hair, and a tight collar and a chain around his neck that cut into his skin. He was left there to guard an empty house, dead or alive, with flies, insects buzzing around on him day and night.
The way they treat dogs, it breaks my heart all the time. When I first go there, he come next to me and nudge around, It was so nice. So I promised him I would do something.
Supreme Master Qinghai's assistant had written, Master next asked one of her assistants to go and bring all sorts of delicious food for the dogs, including vegetarian sausages, vegetarian ham, organic vegetarian dog food, green bones, and dog biscuits, and instructed that they be given as much as they could eat. She then asked the attendants to write a letter to the landlord requesting that they be properly cared for, and that they be freed from their chains at least once a day to relieve themselves somewhere other than their living area, so that they would not have to lie in their own filth. She also said in the letter that if the landlord did not like the dogs, he should not keep them, and instead give them to a proper dog shelter, so that they could find a warm, loving home. Then, at Master's request, the attendants visited the dogs several times during the next month to supply them with proper food and water. When winter arrived and the temperature began falling below 0 degrees Celsius, when the assistants arrived at the farm, they were terribly saddened to realize that the dogs' lives had not gotten better, but rather had worsened. Of the 3 dogs that had been present before, only 2 remained, one of the small dogs and the large dog. The other small dog had passed away, most likely from hunger and exposure to the cold. The remaining small dog's chain was coiled up and now only 1 meter long. Thus he could not even reach his cold, rotten doghouse or his empty, tattered water container, and was much thinner and even dirtier than before. The larger dog's condition had not improved either. The same windy concrete structure still provided his only shelter, and unfortunately, due to recent heavy rainfall, the gap in which he lived had become even wetter and dirtier. And next to the gap lay a young, dead, frozen pig, which had most likely been left there so that the dog could satiate his hunger. However, the dog had not touched the corpse and happily ate the vegetarian sausages sent by Master instead. True to her word, Supreme Master Qinghai returned for the dogs as soon as she could. Supreme Master Qinghai quickly made arrangements with their former human keepers and took them immediately to their new loving home. She named her beloved new friends Zolo and Hallie. Supreme Master Qinghai's assistant describes Zolo's wounds. He had a strong, pungent smell coming from his neck area, and after observing him, the vet realized that his plastic collar, which was very wide but also very thin, had acted like a blade and cut his neck in the cold weather. Since the collar had always been on the dog's neck, and he was constantly in motion, the wound was never able to heal. Also, fluid from his open gash had flowed onto the dog's fur and become rotten. Then the veterinarian immediately gave the dog an anesthetic and operated to fix the wound. But Zolo suffered from more than just physical wounds. His life of living at the end of a chain had also left him with emotional wounds, which required time and much effort to heal. However, after careful, consistent and loving guidance from Supreme Master Qinghai, Zolo has adjusted well to his new life.
The new dogs, they are still more nervous. But he's exceptional. Zolo is the biggest one. But he's the best of them. Because after he learned to trust human already, now everybody come to his house, it's just for him to play with him. That's what he think. Now any human come to my house, he immediately welcome, wagging tail, licking, kissing, all over. But he's an exception, you see. Other dogs, not so easy. And he's so sweet. So he's big, but he's so sweet. Just because he had been chained day and night before, so he was aggressive. He doesn't trust human. Now you don't even need to train. No need green bone, no need biscuits, nothing. Anybody come, he welcome right away. It's like his buddy, he come and give the paw. You know, I shake hand, you see? Shake my hand and jump on him, yeah, slowly, and kiss him and welcome him.
Jane Ellen Plotkin, a respected animal communicator in Los Angeles, California, USA, who only had a chance to see Zolo's photo in Supreme Master Ching Hai's book, attested to this miraculous change in him.
Most dogs who are chained for too many hours at a time will become irascible and angry, and sometimes they'll just become deeply depressed and they'll give up. He was fed nothing very interesting, and his life really didn't have much meaning until Master came and rescued him. Now Zolo's temper has subsided a tremendous amount, and he has a lot of pride in who he is. He does consider himself her protector. He's her guardian. Even though she may not have given him that job, he has elected himself to guard her personally. Now really he has no reason to feel angry at life anymore, quite the contrary. He's very content with the life that she's given him, and he feels very regal in her company and very great as her protector.
The second dog that had been chained, Hallie, has now also fully recovered, physically and emotionally, from his earlier life. Despite his years of mistreatment, he now remarkably loves all humans and especially loves to roll over and have his belly scratched. He quickly adjusted to his life with Supreme Master Ching Hai's other dogs.
Wow, look at the big family I have there, huh?
Howdy.
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 Hello.
After witnessing the journey of Zolo and Hallie, from horrific abuse to unconditional love, Supreme Master Ching Hai's assistant wrote, in describing her experience with the dogs, Master said, I cannot take care of millions of dogs all around the world, but those dogs which I meet and which need help, I feel I have to take care of and help. Through her loving concern and care for two helpless European dogs, Master has provided a touching, noble example of compassion for all of us to follow. We enjoyed your company today. For Animal World, our co-inhabitants. Coming up next is enlightening entertainment right after noteworthy news, here on Supreme Master Television. May your life be graced with love from family, friends, and our wonderful animal co-inhabitants.